What's a home? It's an expression. It's an expression. In Spanish, it's like a, wow, no? ¿Qué casa? So that is an expression, okay? What's a home? So, but why? Because today we are going to read about 4 unusual houses. Look, this is our 4 unusual houses. You can see that? Look at the pictures. The pictures are very strange houses, right? So now we are going to listen, okay? Listen and read one by one. I'm going to put the listening here. So please pay attention to the listening. Okay. Ready. Start. Go.
Lesson D. What a home. Page 42. Exercise 1. Reading. The Storybook House.
The classic children's story Hansel and Gretel inspired this unusual home in the U.S. The owners built the house by hand and included 5 fireplaces inside.
The Shoe House.
This house in the U.S. has a living room, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, and 3 bedrooms. There's even a shoe mailbox. The owner had a few shoe stores. No one lives there now, but there are tours of the house.
The Crazy House.
People in Vietnam call this house the Crazy House because it looks strange. Part of the house is a tree, and it has unusual twists and turns. You can also see big animals on the outside. The house is a hotel and a tourist attraction.
The Upside Down House.
In this house in Poland, the furniture hangs from the ceiling. No one lives there, but it's a popular tourist attraction. It took the workers a long time to build the house. They often felt sick inside.
Good. Now, please, I need a volunteer to read again. Read again about the Storybooks house. Please raise your hand if you want to participate. Okay, Yair, let's listen to you. The Storybook house.
The classic children's story Hans and Gretel inspired the usual home in the USA. The answer built the house behind and included 5 fireplaces inside.
Thank you, Yair. So now, please, I need other volunteer to read about the shoe house. The shoe house. Sebastian, please, start.
The shoe house. The house is in the US has a living room, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, and 3 bedrooms. There's even a shoe mailbox. The owner had a few shoe stores. No one lives there now, but there are tours of the house.
Thank you, Sebastian. Now, please, I need other volunteer to read about the crazy house. A different volunteer, please. Thank you, Anderson. Could you start?
The crazy house, people in Vietnam call this house the crazy house because it looks strange. Part of the house is a tree and it has unusual twists and turns. You can also see big animals on the outside. The house is a hotel and a tourist attraction.
Nice. Thank you so much, Anderson. I need please one volunteer, a different volunteer to read about the upside down house. Oh yes, Apasa. Could you start please?
Yes, teacher. The upside down house. Is this house in Poland? The furniture hangs from the ceiling. No one lives there, but it's a popular tourist attraction. It took the workers a long time to build the house. They often felt sick inside.
Thank you so much, Kevin. You're right. So now we finished this activity of reading, right? So we need to answer this question. Look, what is the question? Letter B. Read the article and check the best title for the article. What do you consider the best title? We have 4 options. We have Crazy House in the United States, Unusual Homes from Around the World, Daily Life in a Strange House, or How to Build Your Dream Home. What do you think is the best title for this article? Yusie Viera, tell us, please.
Unusual Home from Around the World.
Yes, Yusie, thank you so much, right? Unusual Home from Around the World, because you read it and you notice that those houses are around the world in different places, different countries, right? Thank you, Yusie, for your participation. So now we are going to focus here. We have some questions about the reading, the different readings. We have number 1, how did the owners build the storybook house? Who have the answer, please? Raise your hand. I need a volunteer to tell the answer in number 1. How did the owners build the storybook house? Jair, okay, let's listen to you. What is your answer?
Letter A, and number 1, yes. How did the house work for the story house? Exact. Classic children's story, Hansel and Gretel. Mr. Muteado.
Y no se escucha.
The question is how, remember? How? Okay, here we have the question. How? Of course, I know that it was inspired, right? In a story, a children's story of Hansel and Gretel. But how? How was it made? How did it was built? Do you know the answer? Please raise your hand if you have the answer. Sebastian, tell us.
The owners built the house by hand and include 5.
Excellent. Yes, Sebastian Cueto. You're right. The answer is by hand. Here we have the answer, look. By hands, right? So the owners built the storybook house by hand. Thank you, Sebastian. What about number 2? How many rooms are there in the shoe house? Yeah, I need a volunteer, please tell me. How many? Count. 10, 6, 11, 15, 100. How many rooms? Who have the answer, please? Raise your hand. Kevin, tell us. Hmm?
7?
Yes, you're right. 7. 7 rooms. Okay, thank you, Apasa. Now, please, number 3. What can you see on the outside of the crazy house? What can you see? What can you see?
Big animals.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bomani. You forget to raise your hands.
Sorry, teacher.
Yeah, of course. Raise your hand, please. A volunteer. Kevin, okay. Kevin, tell us, what is the answer?
You can see big animals.
You're right, Kevin. You can see big animal. Don't forget to raise your hands if you want to participate, okay? Thank you, Kevin. Now, the last one, number 4. What is unusual about the inside of the upside down house? What is unusual? Unusual. What is unusual? No volunteers? Please, a volunteer. Sebastian, tell us, please.
The furniture hangs from the ceiling.
The furniture hangs from the ceiling. Here, the furniture hangs from the ceiling. Thank you, Sebastian, for your participation. Okay, and we finished that part of that reading.